Not too long ago, I started doing a video about the Mercedes new replacements for the ML, and this is called the Mercedes GLE. The Mercedes GLE, the last video I did was about the AMG version, but now what I'm showing you is the Mercedes 4MATIC GLC 300. So the last video I did was about the GLE AMG. Now I'm talking about the GLC 300. So basically, what's ultimately happened at Mercedes, you've got a whole lot of different choices of crossovers. And what they've basically done was they've given you virtually the same interior. And apparently the crossovers haven't earned the W222's interior design yet. And apparently they're still using the W220's interior design from the older S-Class that was pre-W221. Now the W221 had beautiful sweeping structures and it looked like it was very wide and expansive. Everybody loved that design, and that's the reason why the new C-Class and the new E-Class have that design. So the question in my mind is, when is it that these cars, when will the crossovers all get an interior that's up to the W222 standards? I don't know when it's going to happen. But for right now, what you have to choose from is these GLEs, GLCs, and all, even the smaller crossover. So they're trying to make it so that they have a very wide portfolio. So this way, people have lots and lots of choices if they want a Mercedes-Benz and they don't want to spend top dollar. So basically, this is, again, the GLC 300. Every now and then I make a video and I want to continue it, so I make a part 2 and whatnot. So in this case, you can consider this part 2, or you can consider this the to be continued. So anyway, let's unlock this. When you unlock it, mirrors automatically unfold. I'll lock it back and you can see that again. When you lock it, mirrors fold. Most cars pretty much have like the same type of motor unit. It's a memory mirror. So I'll do it again. Mirrors unfold. Unlocked, completely unlocked. So then, let me just put the key away. Take a look inside. Yes, okay. So you have some of the materials look exactly like how you'd find it in a W222. And that, I think that's a brilliant strategy, that finally Mercedes has upgraded everything to make everything feel like an S-Class, even if you don't actually have an S-Class. So you have this center stack that's gorgeous. Got these lovely woods and everything. Everything looks just wonderful, doesn't it? Everything looks just fantastic. So inside the car, it's typical of Mercedes. And you get this lovely, lovely, lovely interior. You know, and Mercedes had started using Mercedes-Benz textile. So basically, most of the surfaces that look like real leather, it's hard to tell whether or not you actually have real leather or not. So they use that Mercedes-Benz text, they call it textile. And feels pretty good, feels really good. Nice and spacious, nice and lovely. The door handles, everything looks good, right? Everything looks lovely, right? It's a good looking interior. It's a very good looking interior. Everything looks lovely. And with the higher end trims, you can get, what is it called? With the very high end trims, you get like lighting under here, like the mood lighting for the LED lighting. Those are with the very, very high trims. What I also love, the seats have, and I always complain about this in Cadillac seats. As far as I'm concerned, Cadillac CT6 and all the Cadillacs should come with seats just like this. They should all have these automatic powered, you see this, powered thigh cushions, and they should have powered headrests. All of that is usable right here. If you've ever seen one of these cars, you already know. But you can power that in, power out. If you're in a luxury car, you shouldn't have to do manual anything. Everything should have a push button, everything should be powered. Headrest too. I make the same. Hyundai was one of the first companies to start doing it. And that's one of the reasons why I appreciate Hyundai's vehicles. And as you can see, you got a very large power sunroof. So let's sit in. I'm gonna retract everything. It's a really good looking interior, very good looking interior. Before I sit in fact, I'll take a quick look at the trunk. what the trunk looks like. It's a very massive trunk, as you can see. Now, a bunch of people have already done reviews on these cars, so I like to keep it short, because the problem is, like, those German review things, they do it really quickly. So I just want to talk about it my way. No spare tire. I was reading in a magazine, they were talking about the fact that these cars don't have spare tires anymore. And they were saying, well, first of all, a number of people don't know how to change a tire, for one. And then on top of that, the tire, taking it out, saves weight. Now, you save about 30 to 40 pounds of weight when you don't have a full-size spare, but the thing about it is, if you were in an emergency and busted a tire and you had a full-size spare, all you'd have to do is quickly change the tire. But if you have no spare tire, you don't even have that as an option. I think that saving 30 or 40 pounds to not have a spare tire, I think that's stupid. I think they'd be smarter off giving you the spare tire. Now, granted, you have lots of extra space, but with these crossovers, I don't really think that the space that's saved makes much sense, because now you got to wait for AAA to come help you. Now, some of these cars have tire inflators. The problem is, sometimes the tire inflators don't always work very well, and sometimes the materials for the tire inflators don't work very well. Now, as you see, you got the powered seats here. Look at that, powered seat. That's the power seat release. Powered seat release. Right? Okay. So far, so good. Very functional, right? Oh, and naturally, you get the stop, power stop. It protects the kid's head if the kid gets their head in there. Push stop. Goes beep, beep. Oh, there's no beep. I thought it was going to beep. Didn't beep. Okay. Looking good, right? Looking very good, right? So let's put that back up. That back up. Okay. So far, so good, right? Good looking car. Let's keep it nice and simple. I really like Mercedes-Benz product. So, I don't really have much bad to say. Mercedes-Benz makes a product with an interior that makes me like it. Like BMW, I'm not sold on. Their interiors are kind of nice, but they're too flat, they're too boring. Not too happy. I really like Mercedes. Much, much more. Headroom is beautiful. Lots of headroom. Look at that. Lots and lots of headroom. Just put the chair back. You know, you can have options all the way up to heated, cooled seats if you want. Now, some people really don't like the fact that Mercedes new cars have a floating display that looks like a tablet. A lot of people don't like that, but the simple fact of the matter is the government regulations say that the navigation system or the screen has to be as high to the eye line of the road as possible. That means that, you know, you really don't have a choice. So cars either have to have it built right into the dash, or they're gonna have to have it so high up to the eye line that it's gonna end up looking like this. Really don't have much of a choice. Okay, so let's hit the engine start. So this is Mercedes-Benz, yada yada. Let me turn this down because I don't want any radio music in my video, because otherwise they'll give me monetization problems. That's one of the, I have to be very careful a lot of the things that I show you, and the very simple reason is because what ends up happening is you know, if you get radio music in, you're done. You know, that can be a problem. Right? So basically, menu, all of the systems pretty much work perfectly. Everything looks just as good as the S-Class would look. If you step on the start button, hit start, system is started. Engine's pretty good. Engine's pretty good. I mean, you can have these things optioned up pretty well, and you can get yourself a very powerful engine. Naturally, you've got the command system right here. You have auto start and stop. If you turn this off, the engine will stop when you're sitting in traffic, and it'll turn off if you're sitting there for a long time. It'll run off the battery. I think everybody knows that already. There's the manual shift options that makes the car automatically know what it should do. Then you have dynamic drive modes, volume knob up and down. StabiliTrak is on this side. I think most people have already seen this, so I'm not going to talk about this too long. Then you have this touchscreen system right here, where when you touch it, your finger, if you haven't seen this already, finger controls all the features of the car just by sliding your finger. See, I'm turning it in portrait mode so this way you can see it. Make it nice and easy. You know, so you can slide your finger this way, you turn everything like that. Makes it easy. Back button right here. Back button. Or you can touch here for like subcontext menus and this, that, and other. So basically, once you have everything set up, everything looks fabulous, works perfectly. In fact, the new Mercedes-Benzes look so much better than the BMWs and the Audis that it makes me wonder, in 10 years, what will their cars be like then? I guess their cars are just going to look like spaceships, because I'm very impressed with what I see right now. So I'm thinking a couple of years from now, things are going to be like far more amazing, far more beautiful, just absolutely incredible. So right here, everything is about the Mercedes-Benz parts bin is pretty predictable. Everything, like the windshield roof, you touch here, you pull. There's your ultra view sunroof. Ultra view for the kids in the back, passengers in the back. And then if you touch it back again, you pull that, goes back. Okay. And you go back here, touch that once, pulls back, touch it again, roof lifts. There you go, there's your roof. Everything sounds good, it's like a well-oiled German clock in here. See that? Very, very lovely. Push it closed. A lot of people say, oh yeah, well you're biased for Mercedes-Benz, and I'm like, yeah, I am. I really am. I love Mercedes-Benz products. Whether it's S-Class, the new E-Class is going to change the world. Just you watch and see. The new E-Class is going to be incredible. And that's what I expect out of their product. Now, unfortunately, you miss out on certain things the S-Class has. Like, for instance, the S-Class has it where if you touch here, you can actually control the other side's door. This one doesn't have that because naturally, I guess they felt that there's certain features that you really shouldn't have to have in this car or this level of car. But other than that, the car is just absolutely beautiful. And the color, my goodness, the color is fantastic, beautiful, lovely, lavish. You can heap on the praise, all that you like. It's absolutely gorgeous, absolutely perfect. It's beautiful. Passenger airbag lights let you know whether or not the airbag is active. Some people don't want it active because some people are worried that if the airbags explode, that some people just don't want to use the airbags, so they have the ability in some of these cars to turn them off if you really want to, but it's a safety feature, you're supposed to have them on. Radio automatically takes you to radio, obviously. Navi takes you to Navi. Basically, all the Mercedes-Benz cars is pretty much work the exact same way. It's very straightforward, it's very simple. The home button, all of these features use the vehicle information center right here. Everything's pretty much straightforward. Rev it a little bit so you can hear it from the inside. It's as quiet as the MKC Lincoln. These cars nowadays are designed more for fuel economy. They're not designed for speed. They're designed for fuel economy, and they're designed, they're designed just basically to motivate the car. Someday, and probably within 10 years, most of these cars are going to be plug-in hybrid electric vehicles, or they're going to be electric vehicles straightforward with no gasoline tanks. When that happens, all the cars are going to be dead silent, for one. All of them are going to get as good gas mileage as they can possibly get because they won't be using gas anymore. So there's going to be a couple of advances in technology that lead to that. You're going to have better battery technology when Tesla makes their gigafactories, knocks down the price of batteries. And basically, all the cars are going to be very, very similar, the ones that are not still using engines. And any engines that are left over will most likely all be turbo 4-cylinders. So the V8, the V6, both of those are going the way of dinosaurs. After Volkswagen got into that Dieselgate scandal, you can bet that within a few years, what's going to ultimately happen is all of those cars are going to be plug-in hybrids or electric vehicles. It's inevitable because they don't want to ever risk a scandal like that happening again. They don't want to risk getting caught cheating on miles per gallon again. They just don't want to risk it. So you can bet that eventually all of these cars are going to be plug-in hybrids. Everything else is pretty much okay. Mercedes uses hard plastics too, just like everybody else does. Most of it is, weight savings, but they do give you decent cuts, and they do, pretty much tailor cut everything in a way where it makes everything still look good, despite the fact it's still plastic, despite the fact it's not real leather, it's vinyl, but it's absolutely gorgeous, absolutely lovely. Absolutely lovely, lovely, lovely. Seat space is good. I would definitely get one of these instead of a smaller crossover because I would absolutely have to. But the ride is fabulous. The ride is smooth. It's a gorgeous, lovely vehicle. And anybody who purchases it, I would say this: Lincoln moved their electronic shifter to this side of the dash because I guess they felt that they didn't want a 3 on the tree stalk anymore. 3 on the street, the 3 on the tree, it's hard to say that fast. Reverse, neutral, drive, and park, and that's it. Right now, to get to drive mode, you have to hit these plastic shift paddles. Even my SRT has magnesium shift paddles. I'm amazed that they got plastic shift paddles in the Mercedes-Benz. But you know, some people accuse them of actually cheapening the brand with the GLA and the CLA. Some people accuse them of cheapening the brand. So, you know, take it or leave it, that's what it is. The GLC 300 has a 241 horsepower engine that'll take you from 0 to 60 in 6.3 seconds, or about 0 to 100 in about 16 seconds on a good day. The car offers a very soft ride on its tires, and naturally you have a choice between what wheels and tire combinations you get. Estimated fuel economy is between 20 and 27 miles per gallon based on city and highway, but naturally people who drive with a heavy foot are going to get less, and people who drive more highway than city are going to get more. The car has auto start and stop feature, as I already showed you, and that makes it so that you can get better gas mileage because the engine shuts itself off. One thing I did notice that I didn't like was the fact that when you're using the touchpad in order to try to control the navigation interface, it's a little bit confusing. I really prefer, especially after having driven SRT products for so long, that I can reach up and simply touch the touch screen in order to dial phone numbers and have quick access to SRT apps. Overall, this is a fantastic car. Starts at $40,000, and just about anybody who buys one is going to love it, especially considering you're saving money from the larger GLE. This is what it looks like on the road. What a great looking color. What a great looking vehicle. It's a beautiful car. It's very big. It's very attractive. Women will love it. Great looking wheels, great looking color, great looking sound. You gotta love the GLC.